Some people in the world today don't realize that worries don't pay. Plenty people in the world today don't realize that worries don't pay. Resting their worries up on your shoulder, only bringing you older and older. These wicked things and people do, they don't realize you have worries too. Tell them to never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. Never ever worry. Don't mind how you're suffering bad. Never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. Always consider somebody suffering more than you. Hey, tell them to never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. Never ever worry. Don't mind how you're suffering bad. Never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. Always consider somebody suffering more than you. Hi loves, welcome back to the CupcakeDelect Podcast. This is your girl Tiffany Raquel Williams. Excited again, this is episode 3 and I'm so excited to be bringing to you more content. The introductory song, Never Ever Worry, is a 1961 calypso, which is the most popular song that we know by Lord Pretender, the late Lord Pretender, and he died at 85. And I guess he could have attributed his long life to not worrying, right? Always consider somebody suffering more than you. This year has been one filled with inspiration for me. I've told you that every single episode. I've discovered that we can find motivation from the world around us even when we can't find it within ourselves. What I've learned about myself in 2018 is that I have no right to give up, especially when some have actually had way less to work with than I have and desire. Yes, I've realized that the will is a powerful thing. The will gives you everything you need next to God, and taking the first step is paramount. In this week's episode, I'll be sharing with you some of the women of power that have motivated me to keep creating, to keep loving, to keep consistent, to keep believing, and to keep the desire for better, the desire for more, the desire for the best within me and of me. Each segment will feature the lovely ladies on my list. Tea Time with Tiff will cover 3 ladies, and there'll be one in the cash flow conversation segment and one in the love source segment. So I invite you to stay tuned. It's the Tea Time with Tiff segment. Yes. During this week's Tea Time with Tiff, I'll be having an all-natural homemade herbal blend, and it's inspired by my friend Xavier Edwards. He was actually listening to the podcast last week and having tea, and he sent me the cup of tea that he was having, and I was like, that looks so good that I had to have that tea for this segment this week. So the blend is ginger, garlic, and for green fresh bay leaf. Last week we had dry bay leaf tea, so this week is green fresh bay leaf, and that blend is an anti-inflammatory blend, an antifungal blend. Right now my voice is not 100%, but I know the garlic will help it, and if you know garlic as well is really good. It's awesome. Doctors might even tell you, herbalists and nutritionists would tell you, if you have a clove of garlic every day, it would help with your health, with your immune system. So I'm hoping that this sore throat, I'm hoping that it goes away really soon, right? So that's the tea that we're going to be having. Of course, when you check the page, you will see, when you check the Instagram page, that is, you will see the tea that I'm having this week. And also when you check the corresponding blog post, I will also have details about the tea, right? I'll start having details about the tea, the blend of the tea and how to make it. This one, I usually boil the tea, but this one, according to him, I steamed it, and it's really fresh and nice. It tastes really well. I guess people usually recommend to have no sugar with your tea as far as possible, but I always like to have just a little brown sugar or honey. So I would have chosen my 2018 Woman of Power celebrity listing by the words that they would have proclaimed, what they would have said. So I'll share exactly what they said that inspired me. Although some of the content was published long before 2018, God was actually working in my life. And this was the year that I would have discovered what was said and needed to learn from them. So I guess it was my right time. I must say, I'm actually having my tea in an insulated flask, or what we would call an icy hot. I borrowed Mommy's to keep it warm. Well, it keeps it hot throughout the entire Tea Time with Tiff segment and all the segments, the entire episode. So instead of having my tea in a teacup, I decided to put my tea in one of those flasks so that it will keep it hot at all times. Every time I sip, I slurp because it's hot. Our first Woman of Power for 2018 is Angela Bassett. In an interview with Layla Muhammad following the Mission Impossible Fallout movie released in July, Angela Bassett was asked to share her beauty secrets.
What is the formula?
What is we don't have enough time.
Give me three things you must do. You must do 1, 2, 3.
Let's see, 3 things. I love a good esthetician.
Okay.
How about that? Mm-hmm. Keep that cleaning together, whatever. So we don't have to wear a lot of makeup all the time, but your face, your canvas, you present it to the world, and you're good. What else? Truly is about eating, because you can out-eat any exercise routine. So you got to eat right, clean, at least 85% of the time, so follow a plan, not one that's too restrictive. I happen to follow one that sort of cycles through. Like Monday, Tuesday, I may eat carbs, fruit. Tuesday, Wednesday, I may do protein, veggies every day. No fats those 4 days. And then the last 3 days, I flood it with fat. Good fat, though. Maybe coconut oil, salmon, almonds, almond butter, olive oil, walnut oil, that sort of thing. I don't do any dairy, all right? I don't do any bread flour. I'll do Ezekiel bread, which is sprouted bread. Okay, is that good?
Yes, you gave me the
Okay,
formula.
That's 2 things. And then I work out with my trainer. I gotta pay, so I will show up because I don't want to waste my money. So I got to be accountable, and somebody's there waiting for me because I know myself, and I will talk myself out of going. I got to do it early in the morning before my workout quotient would diminish as the day goes on. But maybe Monday and Tuesday, I'll do cardio. Wednesday, Thursday, because I'm eating protein, I'll do strength building. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, when I'm eating all that fat, then it's about deep breathing, a massage, or yoga. I don't do yoga. I go for the massage.
Oh.
Now, I done told you what to do.
I got to
and
do
it don't work unless I do it. And you too.
Angela Bassett just gives me hope for the future. Like, she's awesome. She is actually 60 years old and is absolutely gorgeous. Skincare, a healthy diet, and exercise are truly an essential for living a fulfilling life. Right? Yes, it is, yes. I've made it a goal of my life to pursue self-love in this light so that I am well taken care of. Right? So tell me, what are some of your self-care goals for 2019? What are some of your self-care goals for 2019? Have you even decided? Have you ever give thought to having self-care goals? Let me know. You can email me at CupcakeDelect.biz@gmail.com, and we could have a nice, cool conversation. And I could even feature whatever you may have said on an upcoming episode. Yes. My second Woman of Power feature for 2018 is Gabrielle Union-Wade. And you may know Gabrielle Union-Wade from Being with Mary Jane or from Bad Boys 2. She's an actress, an African-American actress. The snippet I'll be sharing is from an interview on the Oprah Winfrey Network published back in 2013. But absolutely got to me in the right time. In a time when I second-guessed close relationships, it resonated with me.
Do you think the girls got meaner as the chances, the opportunities opened up? Because obviously these guys have been in it a little longer than you have been in it. Do you think that the competition and the fierceness of that competition sort of increased the mean factor?
I think nowadays there is this celebration of, as kids say, the ratchet, the ratchetness, that you're supported in tearing other people down. There is a forum for it, and there's a huge spotlight on you to do that. And people were like, how did you move from being a mean, vindictive, hateful person who couldn't be happy for other people to embracing and truly being supportive? And really, it came down to, we were in a room, we were at a party, and, I was holding court, because I can turn a phrase and be a little slick myself, and I was trashing somebody, just ripping them to shreds, head to toe. And AJ pulls me aside, and she said, okay, now how did your life change? Did you get the guy? Did you get the job? Is your house any bigger? Did money just magically, get put in your pocket? What positive happened in your life after you just tore that woman down?
Wow.
Other than you've just put out all this negativity in the world, and this woman whose power you want to take away, you've actually just empowered her by speaking of her for the hour that you were, but you gain nothing. You look like a hater now. Everyone has left you thinking, what a hateful little turd that you are.
Yeah. Were you doing that because you were afraid? I'm now going to try to analyze it. Were you a mean girl because you were afraid? You were afraid that other people would get things that you wouldn't,
yes.
Whether it would be male attention or
Absolutely, because there's only so much.
I was never a mean girl, but I had to remind myself that I'm to carry myself with dignity and respect despite negative treatment or negative words that come my way. You understand? I don't need to get on the same mean girl level. Like, you don't even need to get on the same mean girl level. Hashtag no benefit. Hashtag no gains. So there's no benefits in being a mean girl, because mean girls actually fear that love will be taken away from them if they are not in the spotlight, if they're not first to shine. They fear that love will be taken away from them if they are not in the spotlight. So let's do this. Think about it. If they fear love will be taken away from them, so then maybe in helping we can actually love. So let's love even the mean girl, because sooner or later, just like Gabrielle Union, she would come to the understanding that it's not going to be getting her anyway. Right? I just want to say congratulations to the new addition to the Wade Union or Union-Wade family, baby. I think it's Caviar James Union-Wade. My third woman of power for 2018 is Viola Davis. You may know the beautiful, strong Viola Davis from her leading role in How to Get Away with Murder, another one of Shonda Rhimes' productions.
The fight for women right now, I believe, is everything. It's about being seen, and it's about being valued. I think that we're in a time when people are tapping into their own power and their own voice and their own authenticity. And I think that we're just simply finding out that we're worth it. If we were to put it on Hollywood or the outside forces, I don't know, I wouldn't have the same response. But I'm putting it on the people who really do have the power to change, and that's women. I think what most people don't understand about the Black experience is how much history has affected us personally. You're taught that if you're dark-skinned, you're not worth it. If you're Black, you're not as smart, you're not as pretty. And history has taught us that. Jim Crow laws have taught us that. Slavery has taught us that. Segregation taught us that. It's like you're coming to the race already 5 steps behind the starting line. That's what people don't understand. We know we're not going to get it, but everything that you want, that you have, that you dream, that you think is possible, we have the same feelings. Everything that you are and want, we want to. That's what I say. My big thing is you need to ask for what you deserve. Shonda Rhimes said it when she won the Norman Lear Award. She started her speech by saying the most powerful words that will stick to me for the rest of my life. She said, "I'm very happy to receive this award because I deserve it." And I believe that's where we need to start as women, is before we get to any negotiating, any job, any salary, before we even start our lives, we need to start with the mindset that we deserve and we are worth it. You're born with worthiness. You don't have to hustle for it. There's no prerequisites to it. There's no bartering for it. You're born with it. As soon as you come out of the womb, you're worth it. I always felt like you had to be pretty, you had to be thin, you had to be young, you have to be something. And now I know the truth. I'm worthy. That's a good start.
That was Viola Davis on being worthy of success as a woman of color in a Net-a-Porter interview in March of this year. Viola has reminded me that I am worthy. I'm worthy of fulfilling all my dreams. I don't have to do or be anything but myself in order for me to accomplish my goals. I need to know and own my worth. You need to know and own your worth. I really hope you enjoyed the 3 Women of Power shares for the Tea Time with Tiff segment, and we're going to be going into the other segments, so I hope that you had an opportunity to grab your tea and grab your snack, and let's continue on to the other segments. It's the Cash Flow Conversations! Yay! Cash Flow Conversations. And over the last 2 weeks, we learned that our mindset towards money can determine how we manage our money. We also learned that we had to discard negative ideologies about money that can cause us to make bad decisions. In order to effectively manage our monies, we must have a strategic plan for saving and spending. You can count on me for episodes to come to give you great tips on budgeting, savings, and even investments. But for this week, in light of the holiday season, I'm happy to share my top 5 spending and savings tips. My top 5 spending and savings tips before you go ham. Before you go ham. Before I go into my 5 spending and saving tips, before you go ham, I'll share with you my 4th Woman of Power feature. My 4th Woman of Power feature for 2018 is Kerry Washington. You will know her as the leading lady of Scandal, which was, I guess, the first time. She was the first African American woman in a network drama in nearly like 40 years when she decided to work on Scandal. In her Time's Up interview on CBS Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley, October of this year, is when she managed to inspire me.
You're producing, you're directing, you are acting, you are in film, television, web series, you are on Broadway.
Right.
Kerry's making that happen.
Yeah, because Kerry has to. I'm a hustler. If I sit around and wait for other people to create magic in my life, then I will be waiting till the day I die. But I get to bring my own Black girl magic into the world as best as I see fit. And that's what gives me the life I have today.
Kerry Washington actually reminded us that we need to get up and get. Now, in this Cash Flow Conversation segment, I'll be using a lot of local idioms, local sayings that help us to just get by. And I know you're going to enjoy them. So, to get up and get basically means to actively pursue our goals and our dreams. Don't expect to sit at home and get everything done, or don't expect to not be in pursuit of it, whether it's doing online stuff or whatnot, right? So we really can't depend on others to create magic in our lives, as she said. I believe that God has given us all we need, and he's basically asking us, he's basically wanting us to go with confidence, go with faith in the direction of our dreams. So this is why I really loved this little snippet from Kerry Washington. So let's get into it. Christmas spending tips before you go ham. 1. Don't forget January. Don't forget January. January in Trinidad and Tobago is usually called the hard times month, because that's the month when food at the house is low, because all the good food would have been cooked in December. It's the month where, because you would have got an early paycheck in December so you can make gifts, shopping and grocery shopping, you would have got an early paycheck like mid-December. That means you're going to be getting your next paycheck mid-January, right? So you have to wait longer. You're not going to have any money at the end of December after you decided to eat everything. You won't be having any money at the end of December. You have to wait 2 weeks. That's monthly paid, right? So we usually call it the hard times month, but we have to keep January in mind. So that's the first thing. So we'll get back to that. We'll keep getting back to that as the first thing, right? Second thing is evaluate your needs versus your wants in all decisions. Evaluate your needs versus your wants. In shopping, cooking, attending parties, hosting parties, etc. Just evaluate if you have to do it versus if you just want to, right? Make a budget. Have a spending plan. Make a list, just like what they say Santa's do, and check it twice, right? And you always keep your goals in mind. Keep your future goals in mind when planning what you're going to be doing for the holidays in terms of spending, right? And always keep your budget on hand, because sometimes you can make a budget, make a spending plan, and then the spending plan gets left under your files on your table or in that little notes on your phone, and you don't actually use it, right? So always keep your budget on hand, right? Okay, so my third tip is refresh previous year's decor. Mix and match. I know a lot of ladies, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, will be upset with me with this, because we like to put away, quote unquote, put away. Ever heard that term? We like to put away our houses, which means we like to make sure our houses are well decorated so that we can entertain guests, so that we can be satisfied with how it looks, right? But if it is that you are trying to actually be frugal and trying to save money and not overspend this holiday, maybe this year you could think of saying, all right, last year my new curtain sets and the decoration was gold, and the year before they were pink. So maybe I could put the mix and match the pink and gold together and create a new fresh look. It's just an idea. You don't have to go out buying all the curtains and all the new bedspreads if they're not needed. If you're trying to really band your belly or tighten your belt, which means, I don't know if you ever heard the term tighten your belt or band your belly, is to make a real effort to be frugal and to avoid unnecessary spending. To kind of cut out or cut back on leisure items and purchase cheaper substitutes. Let me know. Shoot me an email. Let me know if things are like this in other parts of the world. Do people actually say the same things in other parts of the world or act the same way, right? For example, around Christmas time, a lot of people go to the furniture stores and try new furniture, whole new furniture sets for their houses for Christmas. And then a few months down the line, it's repossessed because they don't have enough money to pay for it. I don't know if that's a scheme of that. That's what they planned. But originally, if they didn't plan for that sort of thinking and they're going to be repossessed, it means that they didn't actually make a financial plan, right, in order to be able to take care of their needs and wants. But that wasn't a need. Some people just go over and beyond. And one of the sayings that we have for that is, do not hang your hat, or don't put your hat where your hand cannot reach, right? Don't put your hat where your hand cannot reach, right? Which means to don't live above your means. Don't spend more than you can afford to, and don't go above and beyond your financial capacity. There's an saying, a lot of people like nice things, but you can't afford the nice things. Don't have champagne taste and Morby pocket. A lot of people have champagne taste and Morby pocket. Well, you know what champagne is. But Morby is one of the drinks that we enjoy. It's from the bark of a tree. One of the drinks we enjoy. And I guess, of course, obviously, it's cheaper than champagne. So you having champagne taste and Morby pocket means that you're setting your heart on things you can't really afford, and you shouldn't set your heart on things you can't really afford. Nothing is wrong with wanting nice things, but you don't make it a burden on you and your family, right? Don't do that at all, right? So that was the third point. Avoid furniture loans. No furniture loans. Avoid repossession. Don't put your hat where your hand can't reach. Carry, when people love to, do this as well. Band your belly. Band your belly. Make a real effort to be frugal and to avoid unnecessary spending. Band your belly means to cut back on leisure items, as I said before, right? So band your belly if you really have a savings mindset and a savings goal. Right, so the fourth Christmas spending tips before you go ham is about when buying gifts. When buying gifts, you make a plan. So that gift buying experience or that gift buying plan should be a part of your budget, your original budget for the holiday season. Have a gift budget. Don't be like I was. Sometimes you might take out a few couple hundreds from your account, and I'll be like, well, this is me. I'll be like, okay, I need to buy a gift for mommy. Let me go on the mall. Let me go into town and see what it has. And I'll walk around, glance around. I might see a top that she might look good in. I might buy it. Then glance around some more. Then there's a purse. And then a perfume. But then I realize the entire money we have taken out is all gone. When you don't approach gift buying with a plan, sometimes, especially if you're very generous like I am in terms of gift buying, you might end up buying too many things, unnecessary things. And you also should look at what the persons that you're buying gifts for, what they need, right? What they need versus what they want. What is useful to them. Because sometimes you buy something, and it could be for people right in your household, and you realize you bought this thing for this person and it wasn't necessary because you're not using it and it's just wasting the money, right? So when buying gifts, don't get carried away like me, right? Take advantage of the sales only for needed items, because everything is on sale for the holiday. Everything is on sale basically, and sometimes I feel like it's the pricing scheme in which they would up the price and then put a percentage on it, up the original price and then put a percentage on it, and the percentage might carry it down back to the regular price. Yeah, so don't get carried away by the sales, but take advantage of the sales for needed items. If you know there was gonna be an item like a phone, a tablet that you have to get, and you were gonna get it even though the holiday season is gonna pass, you still need it. Use the sales for items that you know for sure that you were gonna buy or you are going to buy regardless of the time of the year or not. and so it would be beneficial to you, right? If you shop online, make good uses of the sites that offer cashback for purchases. I don't shop online as much as I would like to because I'm from Trinidad and Tobago and we have to pay extra shipping charges to ship from the US to Tobago, right? Extra shipping charges. So I don't shop as much as I'd like to. However, I've seen Nitra B and Ashley Powers get cash back from an app called Ebates, right? I've never used it. I'm not an affiliate. I have no 10% to give you, nothing like that. But I just know that it works. You can actually shop through the site on sites that you love. So you might be able to reach like Sephora through Ebates and you could get percentages off. And at the end of the day, if you were spending $600, you might end up spending $550, or you might end up spending actually more, way less than that, right? So take advantage of those things. Yeah. My fifth and final spending tip before you go ham for this holiday season is you could actually try to make money around the holidays. Make money around the holidays. Yes, and these are for people who are trying to be frugal, are trying to save, are actually trying to cut back on unnecessary spending. You could actually try to make money around the holidays. For example, you could become a Santa's helper. I know there are many companies like in Trinidad and Tobago, TSTT and Tiantec, that throw parties for and dinners and even children's parties, and they would need like a Santa. And some may use internal people, while some would actually use who they can and pay these people. So if you could probably with a group of people decide, you know what, we're gonna be the Santa's helper clan. It's early enough. Let's contact all these different businesses and ask them if they're gonna have any parties or whatnot, and actually tell them that you have the offering and you have the Santa bag and you have the vehicle for Santa to ride in, and everybody have their clothes and everything, and you never know, you might be able to make some money. Yes. And in these children's parties, I know there are lots of people who like do the mascot stuff, jump in the suit and play with the children. That and all has a cost if you're interested in that, especially if you're in America and those things kind of come cheap. You can actually make use of your wrapping skills. I know people do gift wrappings around the holidays. You could contact a mall management and get like a kiosk to do the gift wrapping, or you could offer gift wrapping from your home and offer to wrap gifts for people, because sometimes that's an extra burden off of some people buy lots of gifts for like 10 people and they just don't know, to fight up and wrap. And that might even be cheaper. Wrapping gifts might be cheaper than buying a gift bag for everyone, because I think gift bags in Trinidad and Tobago are like $10 to $15 and $20 and plus. So yeah, you could think of actually becoming Santa's helper, making use of your wrapping skills to make money as well. You can make craft items to sell, and you could sell it through people who already have established businesses, like ornaments and that kind of thing, wooden ornaments, wooden signs, things like that. One of the things that I'm going to be doing for the holiday is offering to make homemade cards from the heart. So everything looks handmade, as if you would have put extra thought into it. And if you're from Trinidad and Tobago, or if you're from Tobago specifically, and you're thinking to get a card made from the heart, you can contact me via email or send me an slide into my DM and tell me what you want, and I could tell you what I could give you. Yes, because we have to try to make some money around the holidays to be frugal. It's possible. It's something that you could do, and I invite you to. So we would have gone through 5 major tips to curb our spending before we go ham for this holiday season, right? 1, don't forget January. Always don't forget January, because after you spend on gifts and after you spend on food, especially the type of food we might buy, might be like snacks and that kind of thing, think about January. So don't forget January, evaluate your needs versus your wants in all decisions. 3, refresh previous year's decor. You could actually do that to save some money. 4, when buying gifts, try to be as smart as possible and look for the needs as well versus the wants, and don't get carried away when buying gifts, right? And 5, make money around the holiday. Yeah, try to make some cash around the holiday, come up with some creative ideas, and it's cool when people collaborate to make the money. So if you guys want to collaborate with me so that we can make the money, feel free to contact me, right? Yeah, I have a question for this segment. What are some of your holiday saving and spending tips? What are some of your holiday saving and spending tips? Share them with me. It might be of really good help. So this has been an awesome cash flow conversation, don't you think? It's another love source segment. Understanding the love source. The source of love is part of the purpose of this segment. And so, as we progress in episodes to come, we'll be exploring the depth of God's love, nature as an example of God's love. We'll be exploring the cosmic conflict, the choice factor, the justice, and the no. Right? For this segment, I'll be actually sharing my 5th and final Woman of Power feature for this episode. And stay tuned for my Men of Power feature in upcoming episodes. Yes, I won't tell you when, but it's going to be awesome and you have to stay tuned. My 5th Woman of Power for 2018 is Jad Pinkett Smith. You may know her as the wife of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith. You may know her from Set It Off and her current project, Red Table Talk. That's where you may know her from right now. There are 2 major instances where Jada Pinkett Smith has managed to inspire me. Firstly, on a Her Network interview where she stressed the importance of women to understand and love their individuality.
Every woman is her own woman. You cannot identify a powerful woman, a smart woman, a woman as any one thing. Mm-hmm. Right? We kind of get trapped in these ideas of what a powerful woman is supposed to be. And what does a powerful woman do? Oh, a powerful woman doesn't do that. You know what I mean? And I think that as women, hopefully, we will begin to understand that being a woman and how you identify yourself and your power is a personal idea. And that what we as women need to do for each other is to share our stories, you know, and to share what we've learned, but that we have to give each other the room to become that which we believe we should be.
Quoting from her Instagram post caption, as women, may we continue to learn to empower, support and respect one another for our own personal ideas and what it means to be a woman, what it means to be free, what it means to live and be happy as individuals as we fight for equanimity and justice. There is no one way to be a woman, she said. Let's offer each other the thing we are asking for. And the last sentence would have just resonated with me, would have just like touched my heart. She said, let's offer each other the thing we are asking for. I swear that I would have mentioned that before in the Tea Time with Tiff segment. If it is that we are asking for love, then let's share love. If we're asking for support, then let's be a support for someone else. If we're asking for empowerment, let's empower someone else. Why not? What would it do? Would it take away from us? We choose to sit and worry instead of uplift, instead of see the positivism in things. Another instance where I was inspired by Jada was in one of her usual personal videos to her Instagram followers, of which I am one of. She spoke about what she learned about love.
I had a wise woman tell me once, Jada, the key to love is learning how to be devastated. And I'll never forget when she told me that, because I was like, well, love's not supposed to hurt. Man, I've learned over the years that that's quite a myth. Deep love is excruciating. If you plan on loving a person, then you better learn to deal with disappointments and devastations that come with giving our hearts over to others. Even if we had the most perfect relationship, the relationship of our dreams, one day, one of us is going to leave this planet before the other, which is the ultimate devastation. So there's no escape. There's no escape. With love comes devastation.
Wow. Deep, true love is devastating. Deep, true love is devastating. After watching, I thought about it a little deeper. Then automatically my mind went to the greatest example of love. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son to die, a devastating show of love, to die, a heart-wrenching display, a sacrifice, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life, that whoever receives and accepts this love will reap the reward of this love. John 3:16. Love is devastating. You know, my greatest fear is actually a selfish one. My greatest fear is not me dying, you know. My greatest fear is actually me losing the ones I love. The ones I hold dear to my heart. And that type of love is devastating. That type of loss is devastating. After letting that soak, that recording, that video that she would have posted, after she let it soak for 2 days, she followed with this post.
Now, I want to make something clear. I talked about how love and devastation go hand in hand, because it's impossible to get inside of a relationship and think that to find the depths of relating, that you can find the depths of relating without being challenged with pain. Now, we also have to have the clarity to understand who is worthy of us walking with them through certain devastations, and when it's time to walk away, because I'm going to let you know something. Not everybody you love is meant to be the person you build a life with. Okay? Sometimes you got to love them from over there, because you can love them, but sometimes it's got to be from over there. But you can't love somebody else more than you love you. Ever.
Jada said that you can't love somebody else more than you love you. But last week I said that loving someone before loving ourselves is actually quite possible. We could go all out and display love and affection for someone else as parents, as spouses, and still not love ourselves. But the truth is that this type of display without personal self-love is detrimental. Loving from this place creates conflict because our love is tainted and it's impure. If we don't truly love ourselves, it's gonna be from an unhealthy dependent place. If when you seek to love without truly loving yourself, then sometimes your love is powered on the fact that this person loves you and not that you love you, right? So sometimes if you stop getting love from that person, then you feel like you don't love yourself, which is detrimental. You feel like you don't love yourself because you're not receiving love. You feel like, my goodness, what it is that I am doing, why can't someone love me the way that I love them? You really need to rethink. Someone has to love you the way you love you. You have to seek to love the way you love you. Especially if that love is insurmountable. But if then you don't love yourself, where is your motivation coming from to love? Is your motivation coming from the fact that they love you? Is your motivation coming from the fact that you're going to get something from this love? You need to seek to love yourself, because self-love is necessary. Self-love is necessary. In 2019, I'll once again be sharing on my YouTube channel. Yes, you get the insider information here. I'll once again be sharing on my YouTube channel the usual type of stuff that is already there, right? Because that's what some of my viewers like. But what I'll be doing is sharing through a series called Self-Love Sundays, right? So I'm hoping to post as much as possible, not going to hang my hat where my hand cannot reach, and go over and beyond, and promise over and beyond, and try to put out over and beyond that which I could actually do. So I'm starting with the idea of 2 Self-Love Sundays a month, if possible, right? And this series, we actually need to learn and live true self-love. The true self-love that encourages us to love others and not actually to be selfish, right? You could have a self-love that is selfless. Because you understand the kind of love you have to love yourself and the kind of way you have to treat people, right? And another sneak peek, I'll also be having like the segments that I have here now in video format. So but Tea Time with Tiff, if you are a real ride or diers, OGs, then you would know that I started Tea Time with Tiff long before this podcast. The Tea Time with Tiff segment, yes, I would have, and I'm going to continue by God's grace, right? So all the segments I'm thinking of putting them into video format, according to love and the life and the light that they're actually receiving now, and even though according to the light that I'm receiving from God, as to my purpose, right? Because to create content that inspires is what I want to do, but it comes at a cost. So I have to weigh everything, and I need support. So if you want me to continue putting out content that's inspiring, then the support is needed, right? I really want to thank you for making it to the end of another podcast episode, the CupcakeDelect Podcast. I'm smiling as I'm speaking to you guys now. I want you to feel free to email and let me know your holiday spending tips. Let me know your goals for 2019 in terms of exercising and skincare and dieting, all those good stuff. And if you're excited for the Self-Love Sunday video posts on my YouTube channel, tell me. Email me at cupcakedelect.biz@gmail.com. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to have an awesome week, and until next week, bye bye. I'm Tiffany Raquel Williams, and you've been listening to the CupcakeDelect Podcast. You can follow CupcakeDelect on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. If you haven't yet, go to Apple Podcast and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. Join me next week for another love and life-inspired post. Thank you for listening.